Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Welcome back to another episode of the Peak Performers Podcast. I'm your host, Thor Conklin, and today we have Dylan in studio. So if you're watching this on video, you get to see Dylan. He's the brains behind the operation. He keeps the whole thing moving. You know, what we thought we would do today is we get questions in from clients, we get listeners of the podcast, and we get a lot of response back. So thank you for sending those questions. And we figure we go back to some episodes that we used to do a couple of years ago where you send in the questions and we answer them here. So first one, what is it?
Yeah, so we get a lot of questions here at Peak Performers Podcast from clients, from listeners, and it's all about morning routine. You know, how do you start your day to be as effective as you possibly can, to get as much done as you can, and to kind of maintain the energy? And with all these things kind of on the marketplace, like Miracle Morning, a lot of people are wondering, you know, what do you think about the morning routine?
Yeah, I actually got some interesting thoughts on this. Now, before you tune out, because I'm going to give you some thoughts, my thoughts, and what's working for me, and it's completely contrary to what's in the marketplace right now. So, and I've been doing morning routines. I call them my E.M.S.R, early morning success rituals. I get up early. I generally get up between 4:45 and 5:45. And I've changed it up, I can't tell you how many times over the last 2 decades. And I really tried to follow what was really starting to build a lot of momentum. You know, get up, gratitude, prayer, exercise, stretching. You know, get into a headspace where you've got the head taken care of first, and that'll set you up for success for the day. Here's what I found for me. And if your morning routine isn't working, give us a try. I did that. Now what am I doing? The alarm goes off. I get up, and immediately, I'm not looking at my goals today. I'm not meditating. I'm not stretching. I'm not doing any of that. I'm immediately diving into what I call my Stressor File, and I'll explain that. So keeping things in your head is not a good idea, as we all know that. You've got to have a place where you have all those things that you have to do. They may not necessarily be the most important things for your business, but they're things that you have to do and you have to get them done. So I capture all those in my Evernote, and I call that the Stressor File. And I'll schedule some of those more important ones or urgent ones for that week between the hours of 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. And what I'm doing, I used to work out in the morning. Okay, so I was with my trainer. I was with him for an hour, 15 minutes to get over there, 15 minutes to get back. That's an hour and a half. I've moved that now to the evenings because in the morning, I'm most productive. And this is just for me. So what I've done now is I get up and I immediately start diving into those things that are on my list of things to get done. They're not the most important things for the business, and I'm just knocking them out one after another, one after another, one after another. And then what ends up happening is you start to build this momentum. And what I'm finding is that I'm going into the day when the day starts, quote unquote, at 9 for client interactions and so forth. I'm just on fire. I've got a ton done, and I'm just ready to hit the day and get moving. So for me, I've gone completely against the grain. It sounds like a common theme, Dylan's laughing here. Yeah, if everyone else is going this way. And by the way, I mean, in life, most people are going through life unsuccessful. They're not getting the results that they want. So choose a different path. So I didn't do this to be contrary. I just did this I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. Right. And they just always seemed to fall. The stressors just kept lying around. They just weren't getting done. And I said, all right, let me give it a try. And darned if it hasn't worked. So if your morning routine's not working, go against the grain. Just get up and start fighting through those stressors, and just click them off one. Just get them done.
Yeah, and I think I want to piggyback off something that you said, Thor, which is it's all about building momentum. Okay, so when you wake up, if you can get going and keep the train moving throughout the day, and then you also end the day on a high note, right? You feel really good about what you've accomplished. You don't have any like lingering thoughts when you're going to bed or you're having dinner with your wife or your girlfriend or whatever. And you can that kind of continues the momentum into the next day, into the next day, into the next day. And what you have is you also are then energized into what you're doing. So when you're doing, calls with clients or meetings, you're not sitting there thinking about all the emails that you haven't answered or that package that you haven't picked up. It's already checked off your list and you're good to go. So you just keep building that momentum. And that just keeps building, not only just throughout the day, but throughout the week. You feel great going into the weekend, you recharge the batteries, and then you're ready to go Monday instead of sitting up Sunday night kind of dreading coming in the next day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I do process my emails during this period as well. So I've got a zero inbox. If you're not doing zero inbox emails, you are failing. I'm sorry. You cannot have that clutter around. It just doesn't work. You've got to enter the day with a clean email. And know those items that you couldn't address, that they're addressed somewhere, that they're captured, so you can address those through the day. But yeah, what happened was when I was meditating, doing all those, Zen practices, what happened is I entered the day in a Zen state.
Right.
And I just wasn't ready to go. And I actually felt sluggish and tired.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. And as soon as I started working and doing things, I just felt more energized. So if you're running a business out there and, it just isn't working, you're not getting the results that you want, this might help you. If you continue to struggle with things, send us an email, info@thorconklin.com. We've got one-on-one coaching. We have masterminds. There's plenty of things that we can do to help you get to that next level. So don't stay stuck. Figure it out. Keep moving, and much success.
That's right, you guys. Have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you here back on the Peak Performers Podcast.